Hello and welcome back to automation. Today's topic is Selenium IDE actions. Okay, so before we talk about actions, there are a few things which you all need to know, and that is Selenium. Now, what is Selenium? Any command in Selenium is called Selenium. Selenium commands and Selenium will come in three types or in three categories. The first one is called actions. Now actions are commands that will interact with the application. When I say interact, I will mean clicking on an application, selecting something from the application, maybe typing something into an application. They all are actions. Let's talk about the second type. They are accessors. The word accessor, you can call it as access. You're trying to access some kind of value from the application and you want to store this value in some variable. Now this value from the application can be maybe a title, maybe some kind of text from the website. It might be important in case like you want to create a user, the user ID is created, you can save that user ID in a variable and use it maybe for logging in your next test case. So that's how that's where accessors can be used. The last one is assertions. Assertions in simple language can mean checks. Now this is the most important thing because when you are building an automation script for creating test case, the most important thing is to check. This is kind of like a checkpoint to find out if your test case have failed or they have passed. They come in three types: assert, verify and wait for. We will talk about each one of them in detail. Today we'll talk about actions. Apart from these three commands, you also need to know one more command called as open. Now open, it will merge two parameters, base URL and target. Okay, and it will open that path for you. So you can say the URL will be made out of two parameters, a base URL and a target. If you have provided only base URL and no target, it will work. If you have provided only target and not the base URL, it will work. If you have provided both, okay, it might work if it makes sense. It'll combine both of them and it'll try to navigate to that page. Okay, let me show you what it means. This is your base URL. Okay, and if I click on open, okay, then this is your target. Now what I mean is I can copy my base URL. Okay, it will combine it with my target. Okay, and open this page. Let me just run this step. Did it run? Yeah, it ran. So it went to this particular website. Okay, let's take a different example. Say I want to go to my registration page. Now in registration page, if you see our base is the same, the only difference is our target. So I'll copy my target. I am going to replace my target using my registration target, Mercury register. Now if I run this command, it navigated to my registration page, right? Mercury register. So this is a kind of way in which you can keep a part of the URL which will never change, base URL, and part which will change in your target. It is useful in case you have got different environments. What I mean is there are cases where you might have, say, environment 1 and then your website. So your environment 1 you can keep in your base URL, your website's URL you can keep it in your target. In case you want to run your test case in a different environment, all you have to do is go to your base URL and just change it. The entire thing will run in a secondary environment, primary environment. Okay, so that is open. The other thing to note about open is it will not go to the next step unless your page has been completely loaded. Okay, in actions we are going to talk about two important commands which you are going to use, and that is click and wait or click, and the next one is type. Okay, let's talk about click and wait. Okay, before that let me change our URL okay to our, in fact I don't even need my target here. Okay, let's talk about click and wait. So here we see we are going to click and wait on a link named register, which is this link over here. Let me run this step. So clicked on register, it loaded a new page. Now if I had just typed click, okay, after performing this step it would directly go to my next step. It would not wait for the page to load. So if I use click command, it is not going to wait for a page load. When I say click and wait, I'm specifying that after clicking it needs to wait for a page refresh or new page load. After a new page has been loaded, then perform the next step. A very important point to note is that if I'm going to click on certain buttons, okay, here it might not be there, but say if I'm going to click on a button which does not load a new page, then I should specifically use the command click and not click and wait. If I use click on wait, it will click but the new page is not going to load, but Selenium's command will think, hey, I have to wait for a page load. There is no page load, hence a failure. So click and wait should be used only when there's a page load, click when there's no page load. Okay, now type. A type command will have two parameters. The first one is target. The most common target for a type command is a text box. Okay, the second parameter will be what you want to type. Over here I'm going to enter Mercury. Now as you can see over here, ID is equal to email, name is equal to password, name is equal to confirm password. So this is my target. This is the way in which Selenium is trying to identify the objects on the page, which is my three text boxes: username, password and confirm password. So here it is identifying by ID, which is email. I'm going to type the value Mercury. Let's run this step. Okay, this I'm going to type in a text box by the name password. Okay, and I'm going to enter the value Mercury. We run this step, and the same way for the third one. I can also change the value. See a value. If I enter something different, run it. Okay, so these are the three parameters. Okay, command, target. Okay, these are the two parameters, target and value. Okay, this is it for this session. In the next session we're going to talk about more commands, more topics in Selenium IDE. Thank you. If you have any issues, if you have any problems in today's session, kindly comment below.